Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am so grateful that you were here. My name is Nikki and I channel messages from film using tarot and oracle cards. And I am so excited and honored to be doing a reading for you today. So this month in April, we just had the holiday Easter. And every time that Easter comes around, I always feel my inner child coming through very strongly, wanting to be more playful, to do more things that bring me joy. And there's a big theme that's coming through in the collective that I can feel that is saying to not take things so seriously, to have more fun. In these last couple of months, I have been doing a lot of shadow work and I have been in a funk, it has seemed like. And this healing has not been easy. It's probably been the most difficult last 2 months of healing that I have experienced. And because I was in this funk, my spirit guides came through and said, Nikki, do something that will change your energy. What is something you can do that would put a smile on your face? And the first thing that came to my mind was to watch some animated movies, particularly also coming through from my inner child. So I set out to watch 3 animated films because I had this idea for this video that I wanted to do for my channel here. So I found 3 animated films that I have never seen before. I watched them all, and I am excited to channel messages from them and do a pick-a-card reading for you in this video. So how the reading will work. In the next part of the video, you will see 3 different piles of cards. Each has a little colored heart on top of the pile. Meditate on the pile that is speaking to you and go to the timestamps that I provide down below to go directly to your reading from there. Also, these readings can be very general in nature, so if anything in a reading does not resonate with you, don't try to force something that does not fit. Only take what resonates and leave what does not. Let's jump into some channeled messages from some animated films. Hello to everyone who chose pile number 1. You also chose the pile that had the green heart sitting on top of it. And the message that Spirit is bringing through with that stone is one of following your heart, following your passions, what lights you up. And that pairs very well with the movie, the animated film, where we will be channeling messages from today. Your animated film is the 2016 movie Leap, directed by Eric Sommer and Eric Warren, starring Elle Fanning, Carly Rae Jepsen, Dane DeHaan, and Maddie Ziegler. The film follows 2 orphans, Felicie and Victor, who want a better life for themselves. And the time frame is 1879. So Victor wants to be an inventor and Felicie wants to be a ballerina. They hold these dreams very near and dear to their heart, so they escape their orphanage to go pursue their dreams. And it's a very heartwarming story, and it's all about risking it all, taking a leap, just like the name of the film states, right? So let's see what channeled messages Spirit is bringing through the tarot cards here and oracle cards for your reading today, pile number 1. We have the Emperor, Six of Wands in reverse. Ten of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups. Knight of Cups. Hope. Hope is always there, even if we can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. Motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. And your last card is Inner Child. The fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. Also, before I jump into the reading here, sometimes spoilers from the movie may be part of the message that's coming through from Spirit, so just a disclaimer here if you haven't seen the film and if you don't want it spoiled, to know that a spoiler might come through where it's part of the reading, all right? So let's see here. With the Emperor, Spirit is showing me that there is someone in your life who sees the potential that you have within regards to what you're passionate about. This could also be you in particular, to take control of that passion, to move forward with it. But I'm being shown specifically in the film the choreographer at the opera house in the film. So in the film Leap, young Felicie, after she escapes the orphanage with Victor, they travel to Paris. And it's during a time when the Eiffel Tower is still being built and where the Statue of Liberty is also being created. So there was a lot of really interesting, passionate things being invented at this time in Paris. So Felicie, after her and Victor get separated from each other, she comes across the opera house and she sees that there is a woman working there named Odette. So Odette could very well be someone in your life who's representing the Emperor, because Odette sees Felicie's potential with dancing from the very beginning. She actually was a dancer but got hurt and now just kind of is a cleaner who works at the opera house, cleaning the steps and making sure everything is tidy. So I am picking an energy up of, for some of you who have potentially had an injury in the past and it has prevented you from really moving forward in the way that you want. And Spirit is saying to keep your dreams alive, that nothing is impossible when you believe, okay? So with Odette, she was a prima ballerina, like really, really fantastic ballerina before her before her injury took place. And she sees Felicie's potential. So she helps her, she helps train her to be the best ballerina that she can. But also, I'm also getting vibes from the choreographer in the opera house. His name was Marante. And what happens is Felicie pretends to be someone that she is not in order to start training with the other ballerinas in this opera house. And Morante does not believe that she's good enough at first because he hasn't really seen her in action with dancing, right? So after he sees her technique, he starts to believe in her more. He has more empathy because he wants to pick somebody to be to dance alongside another dancer in the Nutcracker. And he says every single day, one dancer will be eliminated, and the rest of them will be that much closer to dancing in the Nutcracker. So at first, he does not believe in Felicie, but after he sees her dance every day, he continues to keep her in the running. So Spirit is showing me that there is somebody who believes in you, who has empathy, who is a leader. When they see talent in somebody, they push them to do their best. I feel like there is somebody who is really pushing some of you to go towards your dreams, who believes in you, who has empathy, who may not have believed in you at first, but once they saw what you are capable of, they are rooting you on, they are supporting you. So the Emperor represents Odette, who sees Felicie's capabilities in the movie and helps train her, and also the choreographer, who sees her potential and keeps her in the running towards dancing in the Nutcracker. So there is a very strong leader around you who has empathy and sees your potential and wants to help you move forward. Now, this person is not going to go easy on you because it takes work, it takes grit, it takes practice to get good at what it is you want to pursue in life, right? And that's what following your dreams is all about, not giving up, pushing through when it feels like it's tough. But even though this person may be tough on you, they have your best interest at heart. They are very empathetic, and they are a leader helping you to become a leader as well, because true leaders help create other leaders. All right. With the Six of Wands in reverse, this is all about criticism, about jealousy. So I'm being shown in the film another dancer in the house named Camille. And her mother is also very critical and judgmental and harsh on her daughter. So this is where Camille got those traits from. And Felicie actually witnesses Camille dancing, and she sees how talented she is. And Camille, from the very beginning, looks down upon Felicie like she's not good enough. And it was because in that moment they had an energy exchange of where Camille actually saw Felicie's light. She saw the passion she had for dancing from the beginning, and it threatened Camille. So I'm picking up on similar energies around you right now that are threatened by your potential, that are jealous in nature, very critical. Camille actually says to Felicie many times in the film, "You are nothing. You are nothing," just to try to like belittle her and put her down. And Spirit is here to say to not let that inside. Felicie, throughout this whole film, she does not let that take root inside of her. Because if she did, then she wouldn't have gotten to where she lands in the film later on with her dreams and her passions. So the criticism, the judgment that's coming from other people, do not let that take root inside here. Let your passion and your dreams naturally, organically grow, because that is what is most important. And I'm actually being shown the scene, this is a spoiler, the scene at the end when Camille and Felicie have a dance-off, and the choreographer, Morante, he is standing in front of both of them, and he asks them, "Why do you want to dance?" And Camille says, "I don't know, because my mom wants me to." And Felicie says, "I want to dance because it's who I am. It's who I've been since I was born." And that is an example of the organic passion. An organic, natural passion will always win out over anything superficial or anything someone else is doing that someone wants them to do. When we are doing what we are authentically wanting to do, authentically cultivating our own joy with our passions, that will always grow more naturally than anything inauthentic or doing something because someone expects us to do it, which is not authentic, right? With the 10 of Cups in reverse, I'm feeling a lot of emotional turmoil, feeling like there's a disharmony or dreams are not possible. Some of you are feeling this way, I can see. And this actually happens to Felicie in the film. She gets to the point where it's the night before it's decided if she will be dancing in the Nutcracker, and she refuses to rehearse at all. And she goes to the rehearsal next day, and she is unable to perform because she didn't put the work in the night before. And Camille's mother, Regine, comes to her and says she automatically needs to get out of here. So they actually send Felicie back to the orphanage because she didn't put the work in, and she not only let herself down, but she let other people down that were counting on her. So I feel like something similar has happened for some of you, where you feel like you've let yourself down or you've let other people down because you didn't put in the work to do more, feeling like you could have done more. And Spirit is saying that there are other opportunities, there's more chances to hold on to hope. Because I'm being drawn to this card right now, as it says, hope is always there, even if we can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. So when Felicie is sent back to the orphanage, the hope still stays alive within her, even though she has this 10 of Cups in reverse energy where she's sad, she feels defeated. The hope of her dream is still alive within her, and she dances around the orphanage. And there is a man who works there who sees her doing all these spins out on the top of the building, and he realizes that she's meant for more. So he actually becomes a soulmate to her in that moment, and he drives her back to the opera house so that she can continue to dance. So I also feel there during this 10 of Cups in reverse energy, some of you will have a soulmate come in who will reiterate your potential, will help you not give up, will push you to hold on to that hope and to keep going, okay? With the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups, there is an emotional offer for some of you. Something is being offered to you from someone else. This could be just a platonic friendship, but I'm also picking up on romance because I'm being shown Felicie's friend Victor in the film. And Felicie's feelings for Victor, she just sees him as a friend, and he's the one that escaped from the orphanage with her in the beginning of the film because he wants to be an inventor. but he's always believed in her. But she kind of gets sidetracked by this attractive dancer named Rudy who's very good, and she ends up going on a few dates with him, and you can kind of tell that he's very full of himself. And Victor's, like the boy next door friend who always has her back. But Victor is in love with Felicia, and you can see that. And every time he offers his cup to her, she just kind of blows him off and turns him down, which is fine. If you have someone in your life like this who you don't feel that way about, that is okay. But it's also still okay to still keep the friendship open, to, still let this person know that you care about them as a friend. But also, even though it feels like a friendship, there could be a potential reality where it turns into a very romantic relationship later down the road. So, Spirit is saying to keep your options open and not to write someone off that quickly, you know. But I am also feeling like an energy of I don't want to ruin the friendship. And at the end of the film, it never shows that Felicia and Victor get together per se, but she does give him a kiss on the cheek. So she still lets him know that she values him and wants to continue their friendship. But it kind of leaves it open ended as to what happens with them romantically, if anything happens romantically. But there is an offer for an emotional offer coming from someone that it could lead to more if you allow it to explore it, but it doesn't have to be rushed because night energy sometimes comes with like this impatient energy, and it's okay to slow down and take things slow, but also remain friends if that's all you're feeling. Listen to your heart and listen to what would bring you the most joy. If that's just remaining friends, then that's okay. If it's something you want to explore later, that's okay too. So just Spirit is saying to not write anything off and that you don't have to have it all figured out right now, but there is a soulmate connection, an emotional connection, an offer of love that is being presented here right now. And also, I am being drawn to, on the bottom of the card here, it says the month of June. So there might be something in the month of June with a Knight of Cups energy coming through, bringing a message of some sort, or you might have a better idea in June about this connection. So just something to keep in mind. Then we have motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. What I'm feeling with this card is that some of you are having a hard time motivating yourself because you're afraid you're going to make mistakes or not get it right. And Spirit is saying that making mistakes is what helps you learn and grow. There is a scene in the film A Leap where Odette is training Felicia, and they're outside and there's this big puddle of water on the ground. And Odette says to Felicia, I want you to jump in this puddle of water without splashing any of the water, which means as a ballerina, she was teaching her to dance on her toes because that's what ballerinas do. She wants her to jump on the puddle of water and land on her toe without splashing the water. And Felicia's like, that's impossible. And Odette is, just keep working at it. So there's like this sequence of Felicia jumping in this water over and over and over again. She falls, she keeps splashing the water everywhere, she keeps making mistakes. But the point is that she doesn't give up. She keeps trying to get it right. And that is what motivated her to keep going because she wanted to get it right. So let your mistakes motivate you. Let your mistakes fuel your fire because the more you practice practice makes perfect, and you learn a lot from your mistakes. So, Spirit is saying to have a different perception on how you are viewing mistakes. Let your mistakes fuel you. Learn and grow from them. All right? That is what will help motivate you and help to dissipate that fear of making a mistake. The last card is Inner Child. The fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. So, your inner child is really calling to you right now. And I'm being shown the scene at the very end of the film when the choreographer asked Camille and Felicie why they wanted to dance. And Felicie ponders, and she actually reflects on a moment when her mother is holding her as a baby and her mother's dancing around with her. So her inner child was communicating with her in that moment that this was who she was, that she was a ballerina, that this is what she was joyful about. Your inner child is communicating with you right now to go forward with your passions, to have more fun, to not take it so seriously. Because when you're eliciting the joyful emotion, that is the secret. And that will help manifest more opportunities. It will bring more people into your life. It helps other people see your potential because of the joy that you're radiating. Just like when Felicie was sent back to the orphanage, the guy that actually worked at the orphanage, who brought her back to begin with, saw her dancing, and he had a change of heart just from seeing her passion. So when you act on them, a lot of really cool things manifest. So listen to your inner child. A lot of times our passion are things that we enjoyed doing when we were kids. So what is your inner child communicating to you right now? Act on that. Don't take it so seriously. Have fun with it. Let go of the fear of making mistakes and continue to follow your heart and live out your wildest dreams. That is all I am seeing, pile number one. Those are your channeled messages from the animated film Leap. If your reading resonated, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear them, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Hey everyone who chose pile number two. You also chose the white heart that was sitting on top of the pile, and Spirit is bringing through a message of healing, of shadow work, of really finding the inner light within yourself, which pairs very nicely with your animated film, which is the 2022 movie The Bad Guys, directed by Pierre Perifel, starring Sam Rockwell as Wolf, Mark Maron as Snake, Craig Robinson as Shark, Anthony Ramos as Piranha, and Aquafina as Tarantula. So this film follows this group of bad guys who rob banks, they steal a lot of things, and the whole city has basically labeled them the bad guys. And as the story unfolds, you come to learn that they actually have a lot of light within them. And it's a very cute movie, and I highly recommend it. So let's see what Spirit is bringing through from the film for your reading today, pile number two. We have Seven of Swords in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Precious time. The Fairy of Time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. Nature's signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need only open our hearts and minds. Protect your dreams. You are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. Also, before I begin the reading here, pile number 2, sometimes spoilers come through as part of the message, so just want to reiterate that as a disclaimer. In case you have not seen the film, a spoiler might come through, so something to be mindful of as we go through the reading. First off, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So when this card is in reverse, this is all about the truth coming to light about something. And I'm being shown the very beginning of the film, The Bad Guys. This group of animals, wolf, shark, piranha, tarantula, and snake, when they go out into the streets, when people look at them, they're all terrified and they run in other directions. And this group of animals, they have become used to that because that's how society has labeled them. So, message from Spirit is coming through very strongly in regards to how one appearance for some of you on the group, thinking that that you look scary, or people label you because of something that you did in the past that was not very favorable. This card is in reverse, so the truth about all of that is coming to light, that whatever you've done in your past, whatever your appearance is, it does not define who you are as a person, okay? So any bad thing that you may have been labeled for in the past, it's not too late to turn that all around, okay? And I feel like a lot of you have been working on doing that healing, because that's what the energy of the white heart is coming through. The energy of light shining on you, of truth being exposed, of no longer caring about how people see you based off of what you may have done in your past, but also not caring how you're perceived other people based off of your physical appearance. Because literally when these animals walk out, they get a bad rap from the people. And a wolf, a shark, a piranha, tarantula, these are all animals that people tend to be scared of in the physical world. And in reality, that's not the case. There's very deeply entrenched beliefs around these things. And I'm being called to tell you a story. Last summer, I was sitting outside, and for the longest time, I've always been pretty afraid of bees, right? Well, I'm sitting outside, and this bee, out of nowhere, comes and lands on my bare foot. And I kind of look at it, and just my intuition was saying, it's not going to harm me. I believe it's not going to harm me. And it sat on my foot for probably 10 minutes until I decided to get up and it flew away. But it just chilled on my foot. I knew it wasn't going to hurt me because I had changed a belief around that. And there is an energy of the collective coming together with animals. There's a lot of light workers who can actually communicate with animals to help bridge that gap in communication, um, to bring more harmony with the animal world and with humans. It's really beautiful. So there is a lot of truth being exposed in terms of something that happened in the past that you are not very, may still be being hard on yourself for. Learning to forgive yourself, learning to forgive other people, processing the emotions about it, but learning the truth of the matter once and for all for what it really is, okay? Because with the Hermit in reverse, this is a feeling of having been exiled or being in isolation. This could also be the part of your awakening where the divine spirit likes to isolate light workers for tremendous healing. So I feel like some of you are in that right now, but it's not a place that you really like to be in. It's an energy of wanting to go mingle with people and to get out of that isolation and to have the world see you for who you truly are, for the light that you have, not just the darkness. And it's you balancing the light and the dark within you during this moment. So Spirit is saying if you can look upon this situation in a different way with a different perspective, then it will change what you're manifesting while you're in this period of feeling like you're alone, or feeling like you're the only one going through this, or feeling like you don't have the support to help you with this really difficult shadow work. Okay, because I'm being shown shortly after, in the beginning of the bad guys, this group of animals, they rob a bank, they go home and they celebrate, and they're watching TV, and the governor comes on the TV and she speaks down on this group of individuals who just robbed a bank. And for them, when they saw that, it just kind of reiterated that they were the bad guys. So they kept labeling themselves as that. Spirit is saying to take the labels off of yourself. It does not matter what someone else said about you. I feel like there is somebody who is holding something over your head and will not let it go. Well, you did this in the past, you're just going to do it again. And just kind of perpetuating that narrative. And you are like, no, that is not who I am anymore. I'm not going to continue to do this. So it's important to not let that get inside here. Somebody else who's trying to force a narrative on you or trying to get you to believe something about yourself that you know is no longer true. All right? So, whatever happened in the past, whatever you did, it actually has served a purpose, and you can use it to help people. You can use it to shine the light, because that is what I'm seeing with the next card here. With the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, this card deals with potentially having done some bad investments with some people, or there's also like an energy of stealing. Like I'm picking up on stealing very strongly because that's what happens in this film. These bad guys, they rob people, they rob banks, they steal things because they feel like there isn't enough. So also working on letting go of the lack mindset will help turn this card right side up. But also there's an energy of, well, I used to steal things from people and maybe that's just who I am and that's who I'll ever be. And that is not true. I'm actually being shown not something from the bad guys, but there was this show where this guy used to be a thief. I cannot remember the name of the show, but he would break into people's houses and steal things. And he got caught doing it, and he decided to reform himself, to use what he learned from his stealing days for something good. And there was a TV show created where he would go into people's houses, he would show them how easy it was to burglarize them, and then he would set up their home with a security system that would prevent people from breaking into their house. So it actually served an amazing purpose because he knew how to break into people's home. He also could teach them how to prevent it from happening. So whatever happened in your past, use that for something good in this moment right now. All right? So very powerful message from Spirit coming through there. With precious time, Spirit is bringing through a message for some of you feeling like it's too late, I'm too far gone. And I'm being shown the scene in The Bad Guys where Wolf is talking to the governor, who's a fox, and they're walking around this party and they come across this artwork. And the artwork was actually a piece of trash that was transformed into a very beautiful work of art. So the message that Spirit is saying is that no one is too far gone. It is never too late to be what you might have been. And there is actually a quote in the film that says, even trash can be recycled into something beautiful. So as dark as your past is, all the mistakes that you may have made, it is not too late to transform. It is not too late to heal. It is not too late to see yourself in a different light. It is not too late. So be very mindful of your time in that regard. All there is right now. I'm also drawn to the bottom message. It says, be mindful not to waste others' time either, because the energy that we put out, we will get back. So if you have been noticing a pattern where people are not valuing your time, how can you value your time, set boundaries in that way, but also be mindful of other people's time? It's a very big lesson on earth that we come to learn when in regards to time and valuing our time. It is our most valuable resource. With nature signs, it says, be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need only open our hearts and minds. So with this, Spirit is saying to pay attention to what nature is telling you. Nature is communicating with you very strongly right now. In the film The Bad Guys, what happens is they want to deceive the fox after she made a public announcement about their character on television. So they decide to go steal this golden dolphin that is going to be rewarded to this guinea pig named Professor Marmalade. And they go there with the intention of stealing this dolphin. And while they're there, Wolf, played by Sam Rockwell, he is walking up the steps or walking down the steps, and there is an elderly woman in front of him. And he has this inkling to do something bad, but she turns around and she's almost going to fall, and he ends up actually helping her instead. And she looks at him and she's like, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it was in that moment his light turned on inside and his tail starts wagging. It's the moment where he realized the benefits of doing good, of being of service, of helping people. So what happens is they attempt to steal this golden dolphin, but Wolf, he's got this change of heart within him, right? So things don't really pan out in the way that they want it to, and they get caught trying to steal this dolphin. And this Professor Marmalade says, hey, how about we help you guys to turn it all around? Because Wolf makes this statement to the fox saying, hey, you said that even trash can be recycled into something beautiful. So she's like, okay. So she allows them like this probation period to prove this town wrong, that they're actually not bad guys, even though they still have the intention of being bad guys. So Professor Marmalade takes this group of animals and tries to get them to do something good. So he takes Wolf to the tree, and there is a cat stuck up in the tree. And Wolf tries to get the cat down, but the cat is afraid of Wolf based off of what Wolf looks like. So he doesn't succeed in that moment. And he's really sad about it. And there's this scene where he's sitting outside by himself and he hears the cat meow. So this is the moment where nature was giving Wolf a sign. There's this cat that's meowing, and he goes back up to the tree and he takes a different approach with the cat, and he says, hey, I'm not so bad once you get to know me. And he kind of softens his tone, and the cat is still afraid of him, but the cat slips, and Wolf ends up catching the cat and puts it back on the branch. And after that happened, the cat trusts Wolf. And in the background, Professor Marmalade is videoing it and catches it, and it becomes like a viral video. And so the whole town like now has this new perception of Wolf because he saved a cat from a tree. But nature was speaking to Wolf in this moment. And Spirit is saying nature is speaking to you. So when you're out on a walk, pay attention to what the birds are doing. If there's a cat meowing, or if you hear a rustling in some bushes, take in everything, because nature is communicating to you what to heal or what to focus on, or communicating with you how it's helping you heal. Being in nature will also help ground your energy for those of you who are doing this very powerful healing with shadow work at this time. And the last two cards we have Protect Your Dreams and Solitude. Protect your dreams. You are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. And solitude, think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. Spirit is saying your passion, your joys, it is all possible, and it does not matter what you did in the past. It matters what you are doing now in this present moment to make it happen. Okay? And Spirit is also saying to change your perception of how you're viewing being alone. It's not that you're alone, you always have your spirit guides around you. It's a matter of looking at it as solitude while you're doing this healing. It's part of your awakening, it is part of the process to help you to heal these dark patterns from the past, to become the best version of yourself, to heal on a level that is unlike any other that you've experienced in this lifetime. So I'm being shown the scene at the very end when the gang, they actually have gained the favor of the town, but they do have to make up for the times where they did steal. So they do a year in this prison. And so I'm feeling like there will be some accountability based off of something you've done in the past. Having to say you're sorry for something to reverse the karma. There's something karmically here that still needs to be reversed, but the good energy that you put towards it is what matters, and the healing that you're doing during this time of solitude, because while they were in this prison, that gave them a lot of time to think about things. And their sentence was actually reduced because of good behavior. So once they reversed that karma, took responsibility for what they did that was harmful in the past, they were able to move forward that much stronger with their dreams. So wherever you're at on your journey right now, protect your dreams at all cost and choose to have a new perspective on what your solitude looks like, on what it really means to be alone. You're not actually alone. None of us are ever alone. But whatever happened in your past, you can use it for the good in your present moment right now. And remember that your time is precious and that it is never too late to be what you might have been. That is all I am seeing, pile number 2. Those are your messages. If your reading resonated, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hey everyone who chose pile number 3. You also chose the purple heart that was sitting on top of your pile. So what Spirit is bringing through with the purple heart, I feel like you are receiving a lot of downloads in your crown chakra right now. But I'm also feeling that there are messages that are coming from a belief that something is impossible, which pairs very nicely with your animated film, which is the 2023 movie The Magician's Elephant, directed by Wendy Rogers, starring Noah Jupe and Mandy Patinkin. This film follows a young boy named Peter who's living with his caretaker Vilna, and he's feeling rather bored with circumstances, but he is still holding on to this memory from the past of his younger sister. It was said that she actually died when he was younger, and he's still holding on to the belief that she is alive, and he really wants to find her. So the events that transpire in the film are very interesting, and the main message in the film is how nothing is impossible if you truly believe in what it is you want to create. So let's see what channeled messages are coming through the film The Magician's Elephant with your cards here, pile number 3. We have the 3 of Cups in reverse, the 3 of Wands in reverse, Queen of Swords, Death in reverse, Six of Cups in reverse, Come Together in reverse. Right side up it says, Fairies like to be busy, and a group of them is showing you that many hands make light work. Working as a team helps get the job done. Purity. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it you will find the answer to your question. The last card is Flourish. The lotus flower fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. Okay, so before we get started with the reading here, I just want to give a little disclaimer here that sometimes spoilers come through the reading. So if you have not seen the film, I just wanted to be mindful to let you know that sometimes a spoiler is part of the reading. So I wanted to say that before we move forward. The first thing that I am seeing with the Three of Cups in reverse is this sense of social anxiety or isolation, feeling like one is alone, or that there's no one around you to support you in your dreams, or something that you're working on creating right now. And this is exactly where our main character, Peter, was at in the beginning of the film. In the beginning of the film, he doesn't hang out with any other kids his age. He basically listens to what his caretaker, Vilna, tells him to do. He does it. He does have some next door neighbors that he hangs out with. So I do feel like there are some people that you're talking to, but it's not like an energy of, oh yeah, this is my soul tribe. These are people who support me in the way that you would like them to, like looking for a deeper level of connection. But also, for some of you, I'm picking up on wondering about a family member, because in this film, Peter is looking for his sister. He doesn't believe that she is actually passed on. He believes she's very much alive, and he's holding on to that belief. So I feel some of you have been looking to be reunited with a family member, just like Peter is. And he actually goes and visits a fortune teller in the film later, and I'm seeing that's coming through another message of the cards here. But this is where Spirit is showing me where your energy is at right now, and this was exactly how Peter felt, wanting to connect with family or wanting to know more about a family member who may have fell out of touch, or someone you would like to be reunited with for some of you. And the card next to the Three of Cups in reverse is the Three of Wands in reverse. So this energy that you're in right now, pile number 3, it's creating some creative blocks. It's an energy of staying in your comfort zone. There's a lot of limiting beliefs that I can hear. And Spirit is showing me that there is going to be something that shakes up this energy, because this is what happens to Peter in the film The Magician's Elephant. Vilna, his caretaker, gives him a coin and tells him to go get them something for dinner. While he's out looking for dinner, Peter sees this advertisement for this fortune teller. And it costs 1 coin to get a reading. So he ends up using the coin that he was supposed to buy dinner with to get this fortune told, to have his question answered. And this is what Spirit is showing me, that something is going to happen where you make a decision to get you out of this Three of Cups in reverse energy, to get out of your comfort zone. Or this could be a message for that Spirit is coming through saying to make a decision that you wouldn't previously have made. Take a risk with something to move in a different direction to get out of this energy, just like Peter did. He risked that 1 coin to talk to this fortune teller, which the fortune teller definitely represents the Queen of Swords. So I feel like there's somebody who's going to come in that could also shake up this energy that you're in with some harsh truths. It's a feminine energy, regardless of gender, who knows how to set boundaries. So when Peter gives the coin to this fortune teller, she says 1 question, and he attempts to start to ask many, and she said, you can only ask 1. She sticks firm to her boundaries. And he asks where his sister is, how he can find her. And she taps and she goes, that is the right type of question to ask. And she's very vague, but she says, follow the elephant. So there's also this energy that Spirit is bringing through where some of you are feeling like you're not getting the answers you want from your intuition. Like you're receiving a very vague message like follow the elephant, because when Peter gets this message, he's like, elephant, there's no elephants around here. And she goes, she stands firm and she says, follow the elephant. So you may have a Queen of Swords come into your life to shake up this energy, who gives you a very specific message, but it may not make sense at first, okay? Very something vague, such as follow the elephant. Or this could be your own intuition giving you one piece of the puzzle, and that's okay. The pieces will come together eventually. It's just very important not to judge what you are receiving if you're in the process of developing your own intuition, all right? So for some of you, you may be a fortune teller. You may be very direct in your approach. You know how to set boundaries with people. If you feel that you're getting vague messages, still relay the message, just like the Queen of Swords fortune teller does in this film, because it's a piece of the puzzle. The rest of it may come later, all right? So always trust what you are receiving and don't judge what you are receiving. Let it be there, accept it for what it is, relay the message, and trust yourself. So I am picking up on other intuitive readers who may be receiving this message right now. But also, if you are on the receiving end and you're receiving a message from the Queen of Swords, if it's a vague message, also don't judge it. Listen to it, let it sink in, accept it, and hold space for the rest of the message to come to you when it is meant to. Because that is what ultimately happens. A magician comes to town in this film and he makes a mistake with one of his tricks and actually channels an elephant out of thin air into the platform where he is performing. So an elephant magically is manifested into this town where Peter lives, and it's all over the newspapers, and he's like, this is the elephant that I must follow. So that's what sets off the string of events and the rest of the film. Your next card is the Death card in reverse. So this card is resistance to change, to a transformation that is wanting to take place in your life right now. What are you resisting? I also feel that you in particular are transforming. Some of you are accepting this, but there are people around you who are resisting your transformation. I'm being shown Peter's caretaker, Vilna, when Peter sits down with Vilna and he gives him an opportunity to tell him the truth, because he knows the truth about what happened to his sister. He still continues to lie. He still thinks he has to protect Peter. He resists telling Peter the truth, which if he had told him the truth much sooner, Peter's transformation may have been a little quicker. But that was not how things were meant to pan out on Peter's journey. So sometimes people do what they think is best for us out of love. They try to control the situation. They withhold truths. This is what I'm feeling. I feel like there's people around you who have withheld truths from you. Also, for those of you who are wanting to find a family member, I see other family members are resistant to it. They don't want to open up the floodgates of what that could potentially create, being scared of what would happen. And you have to do you, okay? Do not let other people control what it is you're wanting to transform in your own reality. If you are looking for family members to be reunited, you do what you have to do to make that happen. Do not let other people dictate what it is you want to do in regards to that. So that's a very specific message for somebody, but also just any person in your life who is resistant to you changing, because I feel like a new you is being transformed right now, and certain people want you to stay the same. They don't want to lose that old version of you. There's like this sense of grief taking place because you're leveling up and you're rising. So don't resist your own transformation because other people are resisting your transformation. Peter does not allow this to happen in the film, and neither will you, pile number 3. All right. Next we have 6 of Cups in reverse. So what could also potentially be creating this resistance to change is something that happened in the past. Peter has some childhood trauma from what took place. There was a fire. He thought he lost his sister. He was told his mom and sister both died in this fire. And what actually happened is his sister was taken with another caretaker, and Peter went with Vilna. So they were just separated. His sister actually is alive, which is a spoiler, but this is what kept Peter's dreams alive, being reunited with his sister in the film. He truly believed that she was alive. But he also had some childhood trauma. So I'm feeling there is something in the past that created some trauma that is coming up to be healed right now. Spirit is saying to not resist this, to allow yourself to feel the pain that is coming up so that you can let the past go once and for all. And I'm also hearing that there is a belief here for some of you that our past creates or causes our present moment, and that is not true. Yes, if we hold on to the past and we don't heal it, it can create similar circumstances in our present moment, but also believing that our past causes or creates our present moment will keep the past manifesting in the present moment. Once you let go of the belief the past is in the past and that it has nothing to do with your present moment, you will see a major shift in your reality. So don't be afraid to do the inner work with your inner child, whatever it was that may have created some beliefs that have kept you in a comfort zone, or any beliefs that may have created some blocks in your life right now. Be willing to look at those, because once you let go of those emotions, you become free, and you also learn how powerful of a creator you are because you were able to do that. With Come Together in reverse. Now, I thought it was very interesting that this did not come out upright. So Spirit is also showing me that there is a sense of kind of resisting working with other people, not allowing yourself to really collaborate or to connect with people in the way that you're meant to. I'm being shown this scene in The Magician's Elephant, where Peter is in the kingdom, so with the king and the queen, and he tells the king that he wants to take this elephant with him because he knows if he follows the elephant, it's going to lead him to where his sister is. And the king says, okay, I will let you do that, but you must complete 3 impossible things one day at a time in order to be deemed worthy to do that with the elephant. So the first impossible thing that the king asks him to do is to fight someone. The second impossible thing the king asks him to do is to fly. And the third impossible thing he asks him to do is to make the countess laugh, because she had lost someone. She lost her brother in the past in a war, and ever since he passed away, she never laughed. So the king set forth this challenge for Peter. If he could make her laugh in this final challenge, he can take the elephant and do what he will with it. Well, when it gets down to that final challenge, Peter has all these jokes prepared, and none of them are very good. And the Countess actually feels bad for him, and she forces herself to laugh, and it's very fake. And the king's like, no, it cannot be fake. It has to be a real, genuine laugh. So I'm also picking up on an energy of not having laughed in a while, not feeling like a sense of joy with anyone who makes you laugh, or being around people who make you laugh. And that's just coming through specifically for some people on the reading here. But it's also important not to force it, because when she forced it, it wasn't genuine. Well, after this happens, there's like a freeze frame scene where the fortune teller from the very beginning of the film, she comes in and she says, sometimes it's nice to just come together and remember that you're not alone. So Spirit wants you to know that you are not alone. And you have your spirit guides, you have the divine with you. And in this scene, after the fortune teller comes in and she says that, the elephant sneezes and blows snot all over the king. And this genuinely makes the Countess laugh. So it wasn't Peter who made her laugh. The elephant also came in as a soulmate friend, even though it's an animal. Soulmates are animals too, right? And helped Peter. And the king was so warmed in the heart that he ruled it a success. And Spirit is saying to not force things with people, to let them naturally, organically happen. You don't have to force connections with people, but you're also not meant to not come together with people. It's okay to get to know people, but if you're not feeling it, then it's 100% okay to, not continue on in that connection. But don't force yourself to laugh. Don't force yourself to like someone. Don't force yourself to do anything. If anything is forced, it is not authentic, okay? With purity, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it you will find the answer to your question. So, in the film, Peter didn't really want the elephant to go home, but in his heart of hearts, the purity of his heart, he knew the right thing was to send the elephant back home to where it belonged, because it was homesick. So instead of doing something out of selfish gain or for selfish reasons, he sets the intention to set the elephant free, even though he wasn't sure that the elephant was going to lead him to his sister, because the fortune teller had said, follow the elephant. But what Peter doesn't know is that his sister was actually watching his little feats from the king the entire time. So it wasn't impossible. But because he set the intention to be pure in heart, not to hold on to the elephant for his own selfish reasons, to send the elephant home because he knew it was the right thing to do, he listened to his heart, and amazing things manifested because of that. So listen to your heart. The question that you are pondering at this time in regards to your situation. What is your heart telling you? What is the purity of your heart telling you? And even if it's vague, don't sweep it under the rug. Let it sit and let the rest of the puzzle pieces come together. Because that's what Peter did. Follow the elephant, and then look how the rest of the puzzle pieces came together in the end for him. but he also learned the importance of not doing things for selfish gain, doing them because he genuinely wanted to help, to be of service, to do the right thing. The last card is Flourish. The lotus flower fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. So after Peter sends the elephant back home with the help of the magician. So the magician actually went to prison because when he messed up his trick and channeled an elephant into his auditorium, the elephant actually fell on an elderly lady, and he was sent to prison because they thought that he had the ill intent of hurting her. He didn't have the ill intent of hurting her. He just made a mistake with his gifts. So I'm also picking up on an energy of letting yourself flourish, even if you make mistakes, even if you get something wrong, even if you're intuitively giving messages to people, let yourself flourish in that moment because the pieces will come together. Trust what you are receiving. I'm feeling that very, very strongly, okay? Even if it's very vague, still relay the message because it could mean something to somebody that needs to hear it. And it will also help you continue to trust yourself and flourish in your own gifts, okay? But also, because Peter believed in himself, he believed in the impossible. Not only did he flourish, not only did he manifest a happy ending for himself, but the whole town flourished, and there was just colors everywhere at the end. It gave the town hope because he proved that nothing was impossible because he believed in himself. And this also happened with a magician who made the mistake of bringing the elephant in. It turned out that because he made that mistake led to amazing things for this town, amazing things for Peter. It helped bring a healing like no other. So whatever's going on with your healing, with your intuitive abilities, allow yourself to flourish and trust what you're receiving. Trust that you're giving hope to other people because as you flourish in this way, you're helping other people flourish, even if you can't see that on the surface, pile number 3. That is all that I am seeing. Those are your messages. If your reading resonated, drop a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.